He says his administration is equally focused on accountability, transparency, and reorienting citizens towards values of unity and patriotism.
Our collective participation in nation building is critical in the sustenance of the progress being made. That is why the theme of this year's 65th anniversary is All Hands on Deck, a direct and heartfelt call to all Nigerians.
The conference ended with a call for Nigerians to stay hopeful, committed to the nation's collective journey of reform and development. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
Thank you so very much, Usoro. Nigeria's health sector has seen both progress and setbacks over the last 10 years. From improved disease surveillance during outbreaks to the mass exodus of doctors and nurses, the story is one of mixed fortunes. As the country marks their 65th anniversary, our correspondent Zawao Nasiru takes a look at how the health sector has fared in the last decade.
10 years on, Nigeria's health sector shows gains in infrastructure and disease control, but facing a worsening human resource crisis. The question is whether government can stop the brain drain while sustaining care for millions who depend on public hospitals. Over the last decade, investments after the COVID-19 pandemic improved laboratories, surveillance, and vaccine delivery. However, a deeper crisis persists, which is brain drain. Thousands of doctors and nurses have left for better pay and safer working conditions abroad. Some Nigerians call on the federal government to look deep into the health sector by making facilities available and improving the welfare of the practitioners.
Nigeria government to look into it, to look deep into the health sector. They should make facility available, And I think, I would also want to advise the Nigerian leaders to make everything available.
Sometimes you get there, you will not even meet a doctor. Sometimes you meet one doctor serving more than 100 people. Before you know, you see most people down. You meet a nurse, the same thing.
I just say a word just now to clarify the whole thing. That is me, you understand. Health sector, a lot, you understand. So at least one thing can spoil the whole thing. You understand? Being it health sector, okay, fine, let's assume the Nigerian government decide to tackle the health sector. What about the other things?
The chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, FCT chapter, Dr. Ayogu Emeka, assessed the health sector in the last 10 years.
We are not making very good progress. We are not making progress, especially public hospitals. Let me tell you, even where we have made some inroads, it's public hospitals that have really tried to bridge the gap. But because the poor service they offer is not accessible to the poor masses, there are still a lot of gaps. Private hospitals have done a lot of things. Those things that are used to encourage people to go outside to look for services.
He also suggested that 50% of the budget should be allocated to health sector to boost the health facilities in Nigeria.
That 50% of the budget should be allocated to health. As I speak with now, it's either 5% or less than 5% that will still allocate to the service of health delivery in the country. Those appear to have marred so many things. And as I say, they're telling you that it's an issue of funding, poor funding of health sector. And this poor funding have created so many problems, which includes poor remuneration to doctors, poor remuneration, poor health facilities.
The project delivery lead of the Africa Health Budget Network, Amina Khalid Muhammad, says there should be better health financing, adequate welfare for health workers to make the sector more vibrant.
The two areas that we need to focus on to boost the health sector would be health financing and accountability. So health financing would mean we would have adequate allocation for a lot of our health budgets. We would have those allocations being timely released and adequately utilized. Now, once we have those happening perfectly, then I do believe we would see a lot of our health impact, or rather the impact we want, all of the beautiful strategies and policies that we have, we would see it come to fruition. We would see us implementing them.
With adequate funding and improved welfare, it is generally believed that the health sector in Nigeria will meet the required global standard. Zahra Udas, reporting for Global TV News.
As Nigeria celebrates 65 years of independence, citizens have again been reminded that unity and development require sacrifice. Bishop Edoka Amuta made the call during an interdenominational service in Makurdi, Benue State capital, which also featured prayers at the Central Mosque. Felicity Indiri now reports.
The Benue State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria, in collaboration with the state government, hosted an interdenominational service to mark Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary. Officiating Minister Bishop Edoka Amuta of the Methodist Diocese emphasized the theme of sacrifice, recalling the price paid by Nigerians for peace and unity, including those who laid down their lives.
We yield ourselves to God and serve Him from the depth of our heart, we will be contented. And Lord blesses us with material resources. It is for service. And service to the society.
In a similar message, the Imam of Makurdi Central Mosque, Habib Suleiman, advised leaders to uphold justice, fairness and accountability while encouraging citizens to remain prayerful and committed to nation building.
We call for our leadership to be vigilant. Let them try as much as possible to restore peace. And then we citizens were willing and ready to obey them as long as they fulfill their side of contract. We were fulfilling ours.
Vice Chairman of CAN, Reverend Jonathan Ugbidi, expressed gratitude for Nigerians' growth and commended the achievements of the present state administration. Representing Governor Hyacinth Alia, Deputy Governor Sam Odi praised the sacrifices that secured Nigerians' unity, describing them as a reminder of the nation's indivisibility.
And I must commend the security agencies that are working in the state. Like the chairman of CAN mentioned earlier, there is a front line making sacrifices, most times paying the supreme price for us to enjoy peace and security within the territory of Benin and indeed the whole Nigeria.
Intercessory prayers were offered for Nigerians' founding fathers, current leaders, and the administration of Governor Hyacinth Alia and that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In Makurdi, Felicity Indere, reporting for Global TV News.
Well, thank you so very much, Felicity, for your reporting tonight. Now let's cross over to Nigeria's southeast. As Nigeria marks her 65th independence anniversary, citizens are reflecting on the nation's achievements, challenges, and prospects. In Owerri, residents expressed mixed feelings about how far the country has come. Our correspondent, Marachi Ibe, reports from Imo State capital.
Governor Hope Uzodinma noted that despite challenges, the country has continued to stand united, adding that the anniversary is a time to reflect on Nigerians' journey, renewed hope, and strengthened commitment to national progress. He urged Nigerians to remain resilient, patriotic, and committed to building a greater nation, assuring that with collective effort, Nigerians' future remains bright.
65 years in the life of a man is not a joke. In Imo State, the government of Imo State has decided that where we are a lot of things must change, particularly our way of doing things.
Uzodinma used the medium to inform Imola that President Bola Tinubu will be visiting the state on Tuesday, the 30th of this month, to commission key projects executed by his administration.
So I want to congratulate us and use this opportunity to inform you that the President of the country will be visiting Imo State on Tuesday. And while in Imo, he will be commissioning Owerri MBC to Umuahia Road. He will also be commissioning the twin flyover at Asonto Roundabout. And he will also be commissioning Chief Emmanuel Iwayawo International Conference Center.
In his homily, Monsignor John Iwe congratulated Nigerians on the country's independence anniversary and stressed that for the nation to make real progress, the plight of the poor must never be ignored.
So far, 65 years, we are now elders, we are now senior citizens as of age. The rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. What do we do to bridge this situation, especially the critical situation of our country today? We can't neglect the poor, the needy, the outcast. We must have something to do with them, for them.
As Nigeria marks 65 years of independence, the message from both the governor and the clergy is clear. Unity, progress, and care for the poor remains the guiding path for the nation's future. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Meanwhile, Imo State's Governor Hope Uzodinma has described Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary as a milestone, noting that 65 years of nationhood is no small feat. The governor made this known at the Independence Church service at the Government House Chapel in Owerri. Again, Amarachi Ibe has the rest of this report.
For many Nigerians, 65 years of nationhood is a time to reflect on the dreams of independence and the realities of today. Some residents in Owerri says the country has made progress, while others insist that much more still needs to be done. For Uchenwadike and Godson Daniel, the government has failed to meet its responsibility to the citizens.
It's actually a disappointment to our generation. If we must really say, the government has never met up to their responsibilities. If at this time our educational standard, instead of growing up, is coming down, at this time our education is still bringing out graduates that are still looking for jobs, not job creation. Our universities are still producing job seekers, not job makers. Our professors are helping politicians rig elections.
We want peace and stability in this country.
Why Miracle Ashimole and Remigis Okeke, a retired police officer, stressed that young people desire more job opportunities and that security personnel must be given due respect.
As the youth sector, we advocate and we are waiting for more inclusion into governance and enlightenment in the welfare of Imo youths and Nigeria as a populace.
I remember those days while I'm in the police force. We move about as a police officer with pride. When people identify us, they say, "Officer, where are you going?" They give us a lift. But in this present Nigeria, if you see a police officer on the road, they term them as an enemy. They term them as criminals, which is not good, which is not fair.
Beyond the streets, a political analyst, Iman Ibedinro, believes Nigeria has achieved a lot simply by staying united since independence.
So it's a thing of joy to see Nigeria together, see Nigeria moving ahead. No matter how people look at it, Nigeria has made progress. It may not be moving at the speed we want it, but Nigeria has made progress. If you have had opportunity to look at how Nigeria used to be in 1960 or in the 60s, you see that Nigeria has actually made tremendous progress. I'm looking at Nigeria, where every individual in this country, every citizen will be proud to say, look, I'm a Nigerian.
As Nigeria marks another year of independence, the voice from Owerri echoed a national mood of hope, expectation, and a strong desire for a better governance. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Federal Capital Territory Administration has officially flagged off the construction of an access road bypassing the airport's second runway from Bill Clinton Drive to Tunga Madaki Settlement. Kabir Hassan has more.
The flag off ceremony marks another milestone in the administration drive to expand road networks, boost connectivity, and enhance socio-economic activities across the Federal Capital Territory. The 7-kilometer road project designed to link Bill Clinton Drive with adjoining communities. The project will not only ease the movement of people, but also support the transportation of agricultural produce from rural areas in the city. The FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, says the project also aligns with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda of delivering modern infrastructure that will improve livelihood across Abuja.
We are here to the glory of God to fulfill the promise made by Mr. President to the people of Tunga Madaki Settlement. And that is the essence of the whole thing about the renewed hope agenda. This road is not less than 7 kilometers. And look at the four-span bridge. And the managing director of CCC has promised me that this road will be inaugurated, will be commissioned during the 3rd year anniversary of Mr. President. By June, Mr. President will be here to inaugurate this road.
The FCT Minister appealed for the cooperation of host communities to ensure the successful delivery of the project, while urging the contractors to meet the 12-month deadline. When completed, the access road and bridge are expected to ease traffic pressure around the airport axis, improve safety, and open up new economic opportunities for residents. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime tonight. When the rest of the news returns, federal government intervenes to end strike action occasioned by a dispute between Dangote Petrochemicals and Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria. We have those details and more for you. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. The federal government has expressed willingness to mediate in the labor-related disputes involving the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria and Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals. Minister of Labor and Employment, Mohammed Dingyadi, who doubles as conciliator, expressed optimism that an amicable resolution will be reached in the interest of all parties and the general public. We'll bring you those details later. Let's turn to foreign scene for you tonight. Calls for urgent action in Gaza have echoed through the halls of the United Nations General Assembly in New York as world leaders used the landmark 80th session to spotlight the worsening humanitarian crisis and demand concrete steps toward peace. Deacon Michael now reports.
The plight of Palestinians dominated discussions, with diplomats warning that speeches alone will not shield civilians. Many insisted on accountability for Israel's action and urged decisive international measures. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in his address pledged to continue military operations in Gaza, dismissing accusation of genocide. Meanwhile, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas called on Hamas to surrender arms and respect legitimate state authority, distancing his leadership from the group's October 7, 2023 attacks. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres warned that nearly 2 years after those attacks and Israel's devastating response, the world is facing one of the darkest chapters in the decades-long conflict.
As we mark the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, I invite you to return for a moment to our earliest days.
As are waiting for more than promises, Edith and Michael reporting for Global TV News.
Let's end this prime tonight with a look at some of our big stories. The Academic Staff Union of Universities is shut down as Pegasus begins strike on the foreign scene. United States President Donald Trump, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to hold talks at the White House as a plan for future governance of Gaza, decimated by Israel's nearly 2-year genocidal war, circulates. And finally, in sports, FIFA has sanctioned the South African Football Association after it fielded a midfielder, Teboho Makina, in a World Cup qualifier against Lesotho. And that's our news for you tonight. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen, including using a Global TV NG. Don't forget that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. On behalf of my colleagues who have made tonight's news broadcast possible, I'm Uyagmo Fwegbe saying a big thank you to you for watching, and bye-bye.